you.
Oh, once we get this, it's gonna go live. We better be ready at all times.
How do we know we're live?
The audience will see it in a moment.
Ready?
There's a possibility we're live right now.
You guys, there is not
News.
much.
No.
We're making sure we're live before we reveal this.
because this is huge.
This is
YouTube.
On YouTube, I think we're started. We are live.
We are live.
Okay, insiders.
Breaking news.
There's not much that would keep the Disneyland Insiders up at 12:20 a.m.
No, but we woke up in outfit ready.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, late breaking news. Oh my gosh, we're so
Things
excited.
are happening.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Wow. This is like literally we were in bed and we were reading an article and all of
We
a
were
sudden
like, oh my goodness, it's here.
And then
It's
we
here.
looked at it and it's like,
and we're
this
scrolling
is
through
what we have been waiting for.
This is the moment.
one article on our feed, a second article on our feed, a third article on our feed, and then we made a video. So Eric and I jumped out of bed
Yeah.
in our Star Wars pajamas.
It kind of works.
And,
Yeah, I
you
have
know,
TIE Fighter
I
pants, so
grabbed
does
the
he.
perfect outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, she was all fashionista.
It's fashionista when
you know.
You get it. She's
Yeah.
a girl. But we're going to give you a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. Wow, we listen to the themed music of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, just dropped now.
Composed
By-
by the man himself,
John
John
Williams.
Williams. How cool is that?
Ready? All right. So,
It's so cool.
here's what we're going to be talking about today. Snack time.
New food coming to Star Wars Land.
And it's all going to be themed Star Wars.
Exactly. You're not gonna have chicken. You're gonna have bird that was found on a Star Wars island.
Now, we are also not going to expect what is going to happen.
No. And they say it's going to be all immersive. If you can't recognize that it's Star Wars in 3 seconds, then it isn't in there.
Exactly. The merchandise. Why don't you
Oh.
tell them about those lightsabers?
The merchandise is going to be revolutionary.
Wild.
Oh my goodness.
And the
There
rides.
are already 5 confirmed new shops.
Yeah.
We're so astonished. Now, the new rides are going to be amazing. It's a completely immersive experience. We're going to have a Millennium Falcon ride that is all the way in the back of the park. This is like Cars Land on steroids here.
Right? They took Cars Land and they didn't run with the idea. They didn't sprint with the idea.
They what is it?
dashed.
No. Hyperspeed.
Hyperspeed.
They went hyperspeed.
They went full into it and are going to
It's going
immerse
to be
you
amazing.
so much.
Now, when you go into the park, each cast member is going to be a different character within the Star Wars
and
universe.
they will be role playing,
They will be
and they will not be
role-playing.
themselves.
They will be that character.
They will
and
be
have
Star
a
Wars
backstory.
beings within the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
You will be seeing a local person to Star Wars Galaxy.
Exactly. They live in the village.
Yes. Now, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be a land that takes place in between Episode 8 and Episode 9.
It is.
It's gonna be
beyond
amazing.
Exciting.
And to top it all off, they're going to have a fully immersive app that you can
Yes.
download at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. There you go. That was the
Exactly.
soundtrack. But that was
Let
amazing.
us know what
It
you
just
think.
gets
We
more and
think
more
it's
exciting
incredible.
from here. Obviously, there's going to be the Disney Play app that's going to play
Oh,
a big
yeah.
role.
Mm-hmm. Now, the
But-
Disney Play app is going to be huge as you can translate. What's the Star Wars language?
Orabesh.
Arabesh.
Yes, Arabesh.
There's gonna be Arabesh throughout the entire park, and you're gonna use your app to translate it and decode it, and you can decide whether you're a rebel or whether you're part of the Empire. Now,
The First Order.
Excuse you.
yes, First
Yes.
Order.
This takes place between 8 and 9. That means you are choosing whether you're a Resistance member
Or the
a First Order member.
Now, here we are. We're gonna go into those topics, so make sure to stay tuned if there was something that you thought was interesting, because we're gonna be going
Yeah.
deeper into each and every
Leave
one
a
of these
comment
topics
if you want
right
something
now.
more exciting. But I think the
So we're gonna
most
start with the snacks. We're gonna let Eric take it away.
We need to
shouldn't
think
we
about.
give them a little backstory before we launch into all this?
She does have a point.
I'm ready to launch.
What's your backstory?
Go fast.
It's going to be at the Black Spire Outpost. Now, it sounds a little odd. You don't really know what the Black Spire is until you get there, where there are these big, ginormous spires all around that look like they're made of granite. Some people say they might be petrified trees that turned into stone over time. And all around, they're like a granite color, like really gray. But there's one in the middle of the outpost, just one, that is black like onyx.
Yes, and it's actually mentioned in the Solo movie by Lando Calrissian's droid.
Mm-hmm.
That what was it? That place.
That
That
it was
they
just
had to
mentioned
travel
in it.
there. They
Yeah.
like, mentioned it, so it's like has a tie to the Star Wars universe, which is very
Exactly.
exciting. So let's get down to the amazing details. First, let's start talking about the app.
Oh my goodness.
The app.
The app.
Yes, the app. The app is amazing.
Now, when you go into the app, you are going to be your very own Star Wars character, live action role playing as the character.
Just like you were the cast members. You're not yourself. You are Star Wars.
Yes.
You are going to be making real-time decisions as to whether you want to be a resistance fighter or a First Order member, as we
Exactly,
mentioned before.
yes.
Yes, and as you're taking over, literally, you can decide at a split second that you either want to deactivate something and be a part of the rebels, or activate it and get the rebels in trouble. Either way works. So let's talk about the food.
Yes, think about
I think he's a little excited
where
about
did
this.
Star Wars start? 1977. The opening scene we see Luke in Tatooine, and we see him having a meal with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
That's
And
very
what is
true.
there? Blue
Blue
milk.
milk.
Yeah. And guess what? In Star Wars Land, you get to try it. The first
Whoa.
thing you see in Star Wars. Think about it. In 1977, when Episode 4 came out,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Well,
much what you
wow.
saw
And
to start your
actually,
adventure.
Luke Skywalker is also seen drinking blue milk again
Exactly, but
in
it's
episode
green.
7. 8.
8.
In episode 8.
When he's living on the island.
Isn't it green?
Yes.
Oh, it is. It's green milk. So, are we going to get green milk and blue milk? Or
we
are we just
are.
going to get...
It's going to be your choice, but
Awesome.
the green one is going to taste different. It's going to have like a lemon lime taste to
Yeah,
it.
so what are these
Ah.
actually going to be?
Right. So they're not using real milk because a lot of people these days are lactose intolerant, so we want to make sure that everyone can try them.
That makes
So
sense.
they're going to be
does
using
make
a
sense.
plant-based, dairy-free rice milk.
Ah,
Oh,
very cool.
interesting.
That actually
Yes.
sounds good. And then...
Very like Tatooine grown in my opinion.
yeah, that's
oh yeah,
very...
you can definitely see
See it as
the
Tatooine.
Star Wars.
Tatooine.
So, what else? I heard that there's going to be some kind of chicken, but it's actually going to be called something else?
Yes, like I mentioned before, in the Ewok village there were birds that looked like chickens.
Oh, very interesting.
Interesting.
Well, let's keep digesting this article that we found. Yeah, that sounds very exciting.
The main
Yeah.
restaurant where you're going to be getting blue milk is called Oga's Cantina, you know, like from the
Oh,
movies. Nope, that's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Then which one is this?
You don't know
That's
which one this
Oga's
is?
Cantina.
Oh,
Did you hear?
yes!
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be very exciting.
Yep.
Alright, so then there's...
Oh, and for you people of age, Oga's Cantina will be the first place in the Disneyland resort that you will be able to have alcohol inside the park.
Besides Club 33, correct?
Well, of course, but
Yeah,
you
but-
know, not everyone can
the
go to
first
Club 33.
inexclusive.
Yes, very true. But they also have some non alcoholic drinks for
Absolutely.
us people underage.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, there is that's alcohol.
The Blue Bantha.
Right, the Blue Bantha, which is going to be a Star Wars take on milk and cookies.
Oh, really?
So they're going to have
interesting.
like a piece of the Bantha be icing that looks like a cookie.
Ah, very
And
cool.
then they're going to have more blue milk-esque, but a different type of liquid.
Ah, that's
Oh,
very
cool.
exciting. Now, what
Yeah.
about some other food that we can have there?
Well, we know Katsaka, who is a villager from the Black Spire.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
pretty much like they're saying, you know,
Oh, yeah, they're going to have a
Inside.
backstory. She's
Oh, yeah,
actually
totally.
a native.
a native, exactly. And there's going to be some good food there with sweet, salty, and spicy variations.
So it sounds like it's just going to be like a space kind of popcorn kind of thing, like their
Right.
take on popcorn. I think it'll be multicolored, which would be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds yummy. I'm super excited.
But the bottom line is food is going to be so cool in Star Wars Land, and literally, you're not going to try one thing that's normal. Except it's going to be normal themed. There will be baby back ribs with a special powder on it that make it a Star Wars
there won't be baby
creature.
back ribs. There'll be
Oh, no.
a Star Wars creature from a galaxy far, far away.
And
Which is
actually-
really not that far away anymore. We're about to be in the universe, guys. How cool is that?
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
All right, but what everybody really wants to hear about, let's be honest, is the rides.
All right, I have to say the rides are totally sweeping. So I'm very excited about the rides. I actually created an entire list and printed it out. I'm so excited. But there's the Millennium Falcon is the Smuggler's Run.
Exactly.
Now, when you first get to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it is completely immersive and it's totally awesome. And you literally walk in and you're like in Star Wars. You are a part of Star Wars and it like surrounds you. Now, they're going to have the Millennium Falcon ride on the 14 acres of Galaxy. 14
It's
acres.
so big.
14 acres of a ride.
No, of
No.
Galaxy's
Of
Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to take those 14 acres and you're going to walk all the way to the back, and that is where the Millennium Falcon will be hiding, waiting to be discovered. Now, the Millennium Falcon has touched down, and it's obviously beaten up as usual, as you
As
would
it
yeah.
should
expect.
be.
As we saw it happen in Solo.
Right, but since it takes place in between 8 and 9, it's going to be totally beaten up like it
Oh,
always
yeah.
is. And you're definitely going to have some trouble getting your vehicle to start in
Yes.
the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride.
The only sad thing we've seen is because it's 8 and 9, Han Solo will not be there.
That is true. There will be a lack of Han Solo in
But
Galaxy's
Chewie
Edge.
will be there,
But
and
Chewie will definitely
a
be there.
character
Will
from
be
Star
there.
Wars Rebels will be there.
Yeah, Yondo.
Hondo Onaka.
Hondo Onaka. Now you're
Yeah.
actually going on a mission with Hondo, and it's going to be very, very cool.
Yes,
And
definitely
the interesting
exciting.
thing about Hondo is he wasn't just in Star Wars Rebels, but also in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
And he's
Yes,
actually
that's
like a
true.
space pirate, so you have to make sure you have to
Yeah.
watch out for him. It is a smuggler's run, and he is
Yeah.
like the master of
So
smuggling.
not quite a smuggler, but
well,
a pirate.
besides
Now-
maybe
But he is kind of a
Lando
smuggler.
Back
Calrissian.
to my ride. Thank you. Back to my ride.
Oh,
Literally,
aren't you gonna tell him
No.
them?
the Imagineering is absolutely genius on this ride, and the line is completely immersive. So, if you've ridden the Indiana Jones ride, it is weavy. You're going through the Temple of the Forbidden Eye from the very get-go all the way to the back, and you're yanking on things, and stuff is happening around you. Well, that is going to be the Smuggler's Run. You're literally going to be on the Millennium Falcon at some point, and they're going to have photo opportunities. So, the reason that this ride was considered to be a 28-minute experience is because from the second you actually enter, you are, like, involved
Yes.
in this smuggle. And you can take photos, and there's interactive, kind of like in Guardians of the Galaxy, where Rocket is giving you your mission. There's going to be stuff like that on this ride. And so the 28-minute experience is from the second you enter, the ride has begun. And I think that is
Yep.
very... the line is so immersive that it's begun.
I have to say, I'm
That's
kind of happy with that
incredible.
because I love the Indiana Jones line. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they did
Yeah.
such a good job.
And
with
Guardians
that.
of the Galaxy with Rocket
Exactly.
giving you your mission is so cool.
So having
Honestly-
another thing like that is definitely like a high five to the Star Wars people.
Oh yeah, totally. And having it be so interactive is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So when you first see the Millennium Falcon, when you come around the corner to go to the ride, you get the exact view that Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi first saw when they saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time and said, "What a piece of junk."
Right? Just sitting in the Rebel Depot, like, whose
Yeah,
ship is this?
exactly.
That's
So
awesome.
that is literally going to be your first shot, is the shot that they got.
How cool is that?
And there's going to be a prologue. There's going to be, every time you ride the ride, it's going to be different. It's
Yes.
completely
Oh,
immersive.
that's amazing.
So you are in control of this smuggling mission. There's going to be 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 flight engineers on each and every ride.
Yes.
So depending on whether you're a gunner or an engineer or a pilot and how well you guys do as a team is going to dictate how your ride experience is, and that is going to be so incredible.
Yes, now you can
yeah.
still hear us, but you cannot see us, which is a bit of a problem. So we're going to be fixing that, but we're going to keep talking. Kara and I
Alright.
have to say, what Adam is talking about is so cool.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for all the rides, and it's going to be incredible.
I think I'm most excited to be a gunner personally because I think shooting down TIE fighters in the Millennium Falcon seat has been my dream since episode 5.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna know what I'm gonna like best until I actually do it.
Yep.
Now,
Did you turn the camera off and back on?
I personally could not be more excited for this.
Oh, we're
ride.
back.
Oh wait,
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. No, I personally
Anyways.
could not be more excited for this ride. So, fun fact, Hondo is actually voiced by Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
oh that's amazing.
So,
Whoops.
Keep talking. Keep
Yep.
talking.
So,
Okay.
yes, Disney's own Jim Cummings, who was Winnie the Pooh, and he also did some Tigger. He kind of helped
Oh,
out in
yeah.
the 100 Acre Wood a lot.
That
Is actually
it's-
going to be the voice of a character.
Hondo Onaka is going to be Jim Cummings. That's just
I
crazy to
personally
think
love
about.
that.
Yes. Now, there's a couple more things I wanted to talk about the ride that I'm very excited about. So, did I mention that there's photo ops along the line? I mean, I think that is
even
the
in
coolest
the
thing.
line.
Yeah, like in the line. Like, one of the photo opportunities that you can get is, you know how Let the Wookiee Win, the scene where C-3PO
Yeah.
decides to let Chewbacca beat him in their game of Star Wars chess?
So that he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
get his arm ripped out of its socket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can get your photo right there.
You can sit. I keep thinking it's chess because it's clearly not chess, but the
It's
Star
like-
Wars
it's like space,
the Star Wars space chess, you get to play it.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Oh yeah,
All right, now,
it's amazing.
Kara, take it
Ah.
away on the shopping.
Okay, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they already have announced 5 shops that look incredible.
Wow. That's
The
a lot of
first one
shops.
on the list that I made, just a short little list, is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. And
Hmm.
we actually hear Doc Ondar mentioned in Solo when Kira asks her servant if she's been attentive to this person. And
Ah.
apparently he's the gateway to the black market of Star Wars.
So he's evil.
Wow. I think it's cool that
He's
they're
evil
having.
in the same way that like Hondo is evil.
Ah, very
A
cool.
smuggler.
I
But,
like the way that they're showing
of
like
a
the
different sort.
the black market piece of Star Wars, like the smugglers and who
Yeah.
they were, and they're making it a shop. How
And-
brilliant!
they're gonna have a bunch of ancient pieces of Star Wars history, like books and mugs, and it's all going to be just so amazing.
Are they gonna have like any kind of make your own lightsaber thing, or?
Actually, yes, that's the next one on the list.
Yay.
Hey.
Savi's lightsabers,
Mm.
which is actually a hidden outpost because the First Order's on the planet. They're not just gonna let someone make lightsabers.
That's true. The First Order can't know you're there.
the
It's gotta
interesting
be
thing-
secret.
That's one of the places where the app will show you the Aurebesh. The Aurebesh. Sorry.
Oh yes. So see, when you Arbesh is the Star Wars language, and the app will actually
Mhm.
translate that language for you.
So
That'll
the
be
shop
super
sign
convenient.
above the shop is going to be written in Aurebesh, but you can use the app to translate the words, so you know what it's
Oh.
So you know
called.
exactly what the store is called. That is so cool.
Mhm.
That's great.
And the lightsabers are going to be much more high tech than the ones we've seen before.
Okay, higher quality.
Good
High
to know.
quality. It's not going to be like a plastic lightsaber. It's going to be like a lightsaber.
That's gonna be so cool.
It's super exciting. And the next actually is another really cool one. Instead of making your own lightsaber, it's making your own droid at Mubo's.
Yeah, Mubos. I think.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it.
Mubo.
Mubo's Droid Depot.
That
Yeah.
is very cool.
Building
So,
your own
how
droid.
big is the droid gonna be?
It says it's gonna be about the size of a coffee machine.
Oh, that's
They're
pretty
gonna
good.
have bigger ones out front, but obviously
Right.
they aren't just gonna let you carry those to the front to take home.
It would be
Yeah.
kind of tough to sell those. They'd have to like ship it to you.
That's true.
But they are remote controlled, and they can contact other droids in the
Oh.
vicinity of the
Oh,
Black
very
Spire's
cool.
outpost.
That's very
great.
cool.
So it can be like a whole droid meetup.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
And of course, they're gonna have their stuffed animals at Bina's Creature Stall. But since they're gonna make this immersive, they're not just gonna be stuffed animals. They're gonna be actual pets.
Ah.
So they've got a bunch of. They all react in their own specific way.
Oh, that's very cool.
Great.
Yeah. So far, we know for a fact that they are going to have. Let's see.
That is very cool.
It's
I
very
could not be
exciting.
more excited. So, let's just take a moment and say we forgot to mention what the planet is called. Now, this is the planet of Batu.
Silly us.
Batu.
Batu.
Batuu.
Yep.
Batu.
Now that's going to be
Batu.
very exciting. We're very much looking forward to it. It's going
Yes.
to be an amazing planet. There's some other things that we did not mention about the app that I thought was very important for me to tell you. Never mind.
Oh,
yes.
Most of it.
Now,
let's
you
see.
can hack your way into surveillance boxes around town by solving puzzles.
Right.
You can
Oh.
choose whether you will be part of the Resistance or part of the First Order.
Right. As we have said before, but puzzles.
Yes, well, and then you go First Order versus the
Resistance.
The Resistance.
Yeah.
And
And
so
in that battle, you get to pick a side.
aside,
Yeah.
and then there's a timer, and once that time runs out, the winner is declared.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Empire or the Republic.
I think it'd be so cool if you could choose like a smuggler path to
Resistance or the
sometimes
First
help
Order.
or sometimes aid. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
To
Oh,
see
yeah.
if you could take the smuggler
I would
path
like to
and
do a
be
little bit of both, personally.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Kind of see all the sides of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I
Just
totally
see
agree.
how each story plays out.
Yes. Yes, I think that's going to be so exciting. We are so excited for Star Wars Land.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be absolutely spectacular. We've been obsessing over Star Wars Land for quite a long time,
Yes,
and
since the very first moment they announced it. Before that, even.
yeah, we could not be more excited for this experience.
No. Honestly, if you think about it, Star Wars Land was opened an idea so long ago. For it to be right around the corner, we're what? 3 months away?
Yeah, June.
June.
It's going to be
June,
here in
June.
June. Oh, we're so excited.
Wow. Like I said before, the galaxy is not so far away.
That's all right. So we were actually able to figure out some of the food. So we're gonna let Eric take
Yeah.
it away again. But for the food, why don't you give us another intro for what
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about?
All right, so they're gonna have something called the Ronto Wrap.
No, do an intro.
Oh. So, for the food segment of Star Wars Land is going to be pretty cool. They're theming each piece of it as not just pork or chicken. They're making it something Star Wars. So the Ronto Wrap here is barbecue pork with grilled sausage, coleslaw, and a peppercorn sauce. And the
Ooh.
Ronto is actually the giant dinosaur thing that tried to beat, the beast that the jaw was ride through on Mos Eisley.
Oh,
So they're little
those really big, slow guys.
Yeah.
Kinda
pretty
look
much.
Like raptors?
Yeah.
No.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Well, no, not raptors. Just
Not
kind of big
raptors.
things.
Yeah.
And they'll
yeah.
pretty much be a pulled pork taco.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then they'll have the fried Endorian yip dip, which is going to be all mashed potatoes and mixed vegetables with chicken breast. And they are the flightless birds that the Ewoks catch.
Ah, very cool.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
They need
Ooh,
flightless. They can't.
Kadu ribs. See, barbecue
Ooh.
pork ribs with blueberry cornbread. And they added the blueberry piece of it so that it looked more like Kadu's.
Yeah, so
Kadu's.
we're gonna try to zoom in on this and show you on our phones what this looks like. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
can see that, but that is what they're gonna look like. They look very, very delicious.
Yes.
That looks so
It's gonna be
good.
great.
Honestly,
so,
I'm so excited. I love ribs.
yes. So what's next?
Ooh, the fried Felucian garden spread. It's essentially, it's kind of funny. There's meatless meatballs in this, which
Oh.
is kind of
Well, that's funny.
meatless meatballs.
I'm sure it's a thing.
Yeah, you know.
It's probably a thing, but it just
But it's
sounds
pretty
a
much
little-
vegetables with herb hummus.
Ah, that sounds good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the protein from the world Felucia plant
which
in a
is-
galaxy far, far away.
Exactly, but it's known for
Ah.
its plant life, so they decided to help out the vegetarians there.
Yeah.
Ah, the roasted burra fish, which is actually from Darth Maul's home planet.
Oh, of Dothmir.
Exactly.
Ah,
That's
got
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
It's actually roasted mahi mahi.
Oh,
That sounds
perfect.
delicious. I love mahi mahi, and having it be themed is so cool.
Yeah. Well, and then we're gonna have Oga's Cantina. Right?
Obviously, the one place for alcohol in the entire resort.
It is. We're very excited about it.
But they're gonna have tons of different things. They'll have a bloody Rancor instead of a Bloody Mary. See,
That's just funny.
that's awesome.
All right, what
Yep.
else?
More stuff. Oh, and then obviously there will be alcohol-free treats there, which is good because
You know, we can't.
we can't. So
have-
it'll be like the Goofball Island from the
Ooh,
Lamplight Lounge.
The
and those
carbon
things.
freeze is one of them.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that sounds
great.
I'm sure that's
That
like
actually sounds like a really refreshing drink.
yeah,
Which is
does.
kind of sad because that's like Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
but I think it
But
works.
the carbon freeze has like a name.
Yeah, it sounds fancy.
So that's pretty much the
Yeah.
idea of what food is around so far.
Well, that is our Star Wars Galaxy's Edge update.
I
Yes,
am
that
think
is-
so
there's
pumped.
anything we left off.
Mm-hmm.
We're so pumped. We're so excited for the cast members and the guests to be
Yeah.
live action role playing as
I
these
know.
characters.
I can't wait to be there and be
Oh.
like,
There's one small thing that I forgot to mention.
oh,
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be one of the only places in the park where adults are allowed to dress up in costume.
yes,
That is a very important
that
one.
is great. And
Yes.
technically anybody older than 14.
Yeah, and so
Very
it's
true.
very incredible. They're gonna give full-size adult Star Wars robes or, Sith robes.
The costumes look amazing. Do yourself a favor,
Honestly-
look them up.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting.
So why don't you explain a little bit about the costumes?
Well, they mostly just look like normal Jedi costumes, but higher quality than we've seen before. So the women's are a little more stylish. The kids still look like their favorite heroes because, of course, they're gonna want to dress up
course.
as their
Yeah.
favorite heroes. And
Well, and then
it just looks more elegant.
It's going to be way
Higher
more
quality.
authentic Jedi, which, code word, start saving